Hey everyone, this is Dan. Just going to show you this quick little video just on how to load film holders. In this case it's going to be 4x5 holders. It's pretty simple, very simple actually, but it does take a little bit of getting used to. If this is your first time, grab a box. If you don't have a scrap piece of film, unload a piece out of your box. You don't need a film holder in this case to unload that. But in a dark, very dark room, as in, when I say dark, I mean like a dark interior closet that has no windows or anything like that. You want to make sure it's dark, or heck, maybe even try it under the covers of your bed at night, when there's no lights in your room whatsoever. Close the door, close the windows, shade the windows, make sure it's completely dark. Not even a night light on, or an alarm clock. So again, I can't be held liable if you screw up your film. I'm just showing you the way I do it. Most of the videos that are showing film holders being loaded are just pretty long and laborious. This is just a pretty simple way of doing it. So you can do this in a dark room, like an actual dark room, for like making prints and stuff. Just want to make sure it's light tight, or like a changing tent, changing bag, etc. You can find those on eBay, and Harrison makes a great product. I use a Harrison tent myself for most of my film loading needs. For keeping film holders clean, I just use a paintbrush, and paintbrush that hasn't been used for paint, that is. This one has, but it still works fine. I prefer the Purdy brand myself. Just like their brushes, and they seem to last a whole lot longer, especially when you take care of them. They're not very expensive, $5, $6, $7. Go out and buy one. Use it for just your film holders, you know, camera stuff, what have you. You'll thank me. They're great brushes. Some people use a vacuum cleaner to vacuum out the holders before they load them, after they unload them, after they use them, whatever. I think that's a little bit far, but there have been times when I've needed to do that myself after like shooting in the desert. So, loading film holders. This is done obviously in the dark, in a changing tent, changing bag, whatever. But you have your film. This would be like in a box. Your film holder is obviously empty, or I'll show you unloading as well. But loading a film holder, this is just the way I do it. Just watch my hands, watch what I do. I open up the dark slide halfway. That way you don't have to try to fumble with the dark slide of getting it back in. I then take a piece of film out of my box, open up the hinge with my other hand, feel for those two little rails. There's kind of a trough. You obviously have to get it in there. Some people, I've done this as well, put two fingers like this, put the film under your fingers, and then push in, and that'll help guide it underneath those rails. Push it all the way in, so you're kind of pushing slightly down and in, not forcefully, but you're pushing it down and in, and then you push it all the way in, flap closed, and put the dark slide back in. Next side, same thing. Dark slide halfway out, hinge open, hold that hinge back with a piece of tape, but with the film, it's got a little bit of a springiness to it. Put the fingers in, film under the fingers, push it in about halfway, hold that hinge back with your thumb or forefinger, whatever, and then push it in all the way. Now notice here, just to contrast, see these notches? That means that the film is facing upwards. So in this case, because I'm right-handed, I load the film from the right-hand side, and those notches are on the bottom, this being the bottom right-hand corner. So if you're looking at it, if you're on this side facing this way, you'd be loading. If you're loading right-handed from here, you would have the film in this bottom right-hand corner. You can also flip it around and have it in the top left-hand corner if you so wish. I prefer to just do it the other way, just because that's just force of habit. I prefer to load it in, so it would be in the bottom right corner here. And obviously, if you're left-handed, so for me, left-handed, if I was loading it left-handed like this, it would be the same thing. You know, coming in from the right-hand side, hinge closed, and then you got your film in the holder. Now, unloading a holder, it's basically the exact same thing, just in opposite order. Dark slide halfway open, you have your hinge, open the hinge all the way, get a nail underneath that film, lift it up a bit, and then drag out carefully, slowly, not enough to really scratch the back of the film. Sometimes you want to hold the hinge back if it's really tight. Sometimes it'll only hinge open to like right here, but you have to really force it open. hold it back while you're pulling that film out, just so it doesn't scratch the back of the film. And then put that into your box. And then seal up the box, and then you're good to go. So again, just in order of loading, you have your holder unloaded in the dark, remember, and then you have your, so this is you facing this way, or if you're left-handed, so it would be the opposite. You have your film in the bottom right corner, so this is you facing this way. Imagine you're right-handed. Film bottom right corner, hold the hinge open. Underneath those two rails you want to feel. Sometimes just get your thumb or your finger, just feel those rails so the film is not above it, but it's below it. All the way in, hinge closed, dark slide in, and you're good to go. Just remember, when you shoot the exposure, flip your dark slide over. I use black side meaning exposed, light side meaning unexposed. Some people do it the opposite way. I personally, just out of habit, just use white side means unexposed, black side means exposed, and has been shot. If you have any questions, please leave them in a comment below. I'll try to get to them as quickly as I can. Give me a thumbs up if you want. I'm going to try to make some more videos for analog stuff, just to show the camera, show the operations of different kind of cameras, large format stuff, etc. Just so other people out there who might not know, just so they can have some more information, and make it a better experience for all of us film shooters out there. Happy shooting, and best of light to you.